listening to The Final Score with Stevie Fly.
What's up, guys? It's Tuesday night. It was Tuesday night. You know, that's the time for the final score, 7:30. What a difference a week makes, guys. I'm sitting here right now. Last week, freezing outside. Snow we got almost a foot of snow. Today, we get near 70 degrees, and I love it. I'm so happy. I'm ready for the warmer weather. Don't make it 100. Just keep it right here in the 70s for us, and I'll be fine. But a big week in sports. The NFL season has come to an end. Super Bowl 60 was this past Sunday night. And no surprise there to us about the outcome of the game. We picked that almost, I think I said 34-17. So we were a little off, but not far off. You had the best rivalry in, I won't say sports, but I'll say college basketball. That took place this past Saturday night. Duke and Carolina hooked up at the Dean Dome this past Saturday night with one of those memorable moments in Duke Carolina history there. We'll talk about that. There's some other things I want to get off my chest tonight, too. And it's kind of some things that have been bothering me that I've seen people saying and doing that. And in this day and time, I've done a lot. Look, a lot of times I have said, the heck with it. I'm going to ignore it. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to bite my tongue. And it's nothing personal. It's more of I've been listening to it for a long time, and some things I've been seeing for a long time and that I don't agree with. And I felt like I needed to get it off my chest tonight. But anyway, first things first. Let's open it up with the Carolina Duke game. This was, talking to a lot of people going into that game, it felt like this was Duke's game. Duke has a strong team. I mean, really, I'm not a Duke fan by any means, but Duke has a really strong team with the Boozer. And I mean, they seem to always have those 1 year guys that you stay there for 1 year. God, do you remember? This is what's wrong for me. This is one of the things I think is wrong, and I'm going to get on the soapbox a lot tonight. This is one of the things I think is wrong with college sports. It used to be when I was a kid, back in the mid 80s, early 80s, there was a book I would get every year at the start of basketball season, the ACC Basketball Handbook. And I still have a lot of them sitting out here right now. And I would study that thing. I would keep stats in that thing. So I listen to the games on the radio and keep the stats on that thing. But I knew every player on on those teams. When I watched games whether it was, you didn't get the coverage because I didn't get ESPN back then. We didn't have cable. I got maybe 3 games a week. One weeknight game, and then a Saturday game and a Sunday game. And I knew who the players were on that team, on each team, because I studied the handbook. Now you don't know hardly any of them anymore because it's so much turnover. There 1 year, gone. There 1 year, gone. Transfer out. The reason I'm saying this is because you watch this game, and there was so many superstars out there that and it not just Duke. Caleb Wilson for Carolina will probably just be there 1 year. I mean, I can't imagine he's going to come back to Carolina for a second year. Especially the way he's playing. He'll probably go to the pros. The game was Duke's to lose. And Duke held double-digit leads during that game. I want to say they were up double digits to half. Carolina down the stretch, Carolina came back, and the play tied at 68. Carolina makes a stop. Boozer misses a driving layup. He misses that. Carolina gets the ball, calls timeout. They draw up a play. And you would think, okay, this is definitely Caleb Wilson. We're gonna, you're gonna see Caleb Wilson either he's gonna win it or we're going in overtime. Thanks for the like, Doug. And perfectly drawn up play. Pick and roll. Here comes Caleb Wilson down the lane. It seemed like every Duke defender came over with who's waiting over in the corner for Seth Trimble. Sitting there wide open. Nobody around him. He hits the three with 0.4 seconds left. How they decided that was 0.4 seconds left, guys, I don't know, because I thought the time ran out, but, it is what it is. So Carolina fans rush the court, players rush the court. They have to get them off. And Duke, of course, they don't get the win. Carolina wins 71-68. But the thing about that, guys, the guy that hit the game-winning shot has been at Carolina for 4 years. He's a 4-year senior at Carolina. I mean, this is the kind of things you like to see. So Carolina gets the win. Of course, let me tell you this. There's a reason that I do not like Duke anymore. This goes back to 97-98. Vince Carter, Anton Jameson, ACC tournament championship game. They demolished Duke. After the game, of course, they're celebrating. They're celebrating because they won the ACC tournament, which is a big thing. Mike Krzyzewski in a press conference after the game said, well, I didn't appreciate all the dancing and the celebrating. What do you expect? So let's fast forward a year later. Duke beats Carolina. I believe it was the ACC championship game, the ACC tournament. Dante Jones, during the game, is running by the Carolina bench, dancing, taunting. Krzyzewski's asked about that. Well, what do you expect him to do? This is just it's just him being happy about what he's accomplished. Let's call a hypocrite. And I know right now some of you Duke fans are out there going, well, I can't believe you said that about Coach K. Oh, I did. And I didn't mind Duke until then. I actually pulled for Duke in the NCAA tournaments until then. So getting back to Saturday night, Carolina rushes the court just like every freaking college in America does most of the time when there's a big win. John Shire after the game. Well, I'm not trying to take any away from the game because it's a great win for Carolina. But the rushing the court, we were fearing for our players. It's the same thing he said a few years ago against, was it Wake Forest beat them at Wake? But also he throws in one of his assistants got punched in the face. In this day and age of everybody's got a camera and everybody was filming, we have yet to see a video of that. And then he comes back and recants that in his press conference this week. But it's okay. Look, guys, safety is important. I know that. How long have we seen people rushing the court? And it was never a problem. All of a sudden, when it happens to Duke, it's a problem, though. And they're going to stop it. Carolina got fined $50,000 for it. They're going to get it stopped. Duke will get it stopped. You watch. you watch. But yeah, Carolina gets the win over Duke. But let me ask you, and this is going to get to another subject that I just saw this morning, but it just boiled over when I saw it this morning. The rush into court. It's glorified in the media. How many times do you see ESPN highlights or any media highlight when a big win like that? So they make sure they show people rushing to court. So guess what? The people that are seeing that on ESPN, they're like, oh gosh, let's rush to court so we can maybe get on TV. Let's rush to court like these other teams do. I mean, you're glorifying it, but then you want to. They spent almost as much time talking about the Carolina Duke game, talking about what happened in the game, as they did talking about Shire, talking about them rushing to court. And this morning, when I wake up in the morning, most of the time I turn Sports Center on. And the first thing I see, the leadoff story. I don't watch NBA basketball anymore. But the highlights, of course, this time of year especially, the highlights are there on ESPN. Charlotte Hornets have a 9-game winning streak. They're playing the Detroit Pistons, one of the best teams in the league right now. And it isn't the first thing that comes out of the highlights of that game is not a great play they made or the fact that Detroit snapped their 9-game winning streak. It's a fight. They've spent 5 minutes showing over and over again a fight that 4 players got ejected in. See, my dog ain't like 4 players got ejected. It isn't about anybody who had the most points or anything, their stats, or talking about what a great play this guy made. They show the fight over and over and over again. It's glorified. The media glorifies this stuff so much. Of course, I mean, when you it's ridiculous, guys. It's just stupid. I mean, there's a fight. Yeah, it's fine. Fine, show the fight, but show it after the highlights. And don't spend 10, 15 minutes talking about it. We know they fought. They got ejected. What else you want to talk about? What else can you possibly talk about with that? Stupid. Like Bill Murray said, stupid. I'll save my last rant for after this, after we talk about Super Bowl. So Super Bowl 60, Patriots, Seahawks. And like I said, I think it was 34-17. I picked Seahawks to win. Going into the game, we said Seahawks defense was the key. Drake May has not had a good postseason. He's been sacked. He was sacked several times. He turned the ball over several times. He won against Houston. They won against Houston because C.J. Stroud. We said that over and over again. C.J. Stroud played the worst game ever. I mean, like Dan Orlovsky said, 31 other quarterbacks play in that game. Houston wins. But you got Sam Darnold. The story's coming in. Sam Darnold. Can he win the Super Bowl? This guy that had been wrote off so many times by everybody, including me. I remember on this show, and it was probably when Lynn Bryant, my good buddy Lynn Bryant, was helping do the show. We talked about him He said he was seeing ghosts with the Jets. How many teams did he play for, guys? Jets, Panthers, 49ers, Vikings. This is a number 1 draft pick, guys. The Vikings, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to upset one of my buddies here too. Vikings were foolish to let him go. And almost didn't. There was almost a trade. J.J. McCarthy almost got traded to the Raiders. Thank you, Anthony Skinner. Appreciate you, guy. J.J. McCarthy almost got traded to the Raiders, but it fell apart. If you guys, I've been on Anthony's podcast, Hooked on Songs. Check them out, guys. It's a great music podcast. I've been on there a couple of times. Him and Bruce. I can't say Bruce's last name. I'm scared I'm going to say it wrong. Anyway, Sam Darnold been given up on, dude. He was a backup with the 49ers. And the Vikings took a chance on him, and it worked. But the Vikings, I don't know why. When a guy, and I know McCarthy got hurt. That's your rookie. You drafted him to be the future of the organization. But this guy won 14 games for you. Yeah, he laid an egg in the playoffs, but you didn't protect him. And I said all along, he's going to have to show me. He's going to have to prove to me in the playoffs before I'm buying in. Well, he did that this year, guys. After that first playoff game against the 49ers, he proved me wrong. I bought into Sam Darnold. So that's, you got the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, the big turnaround, and great coaching Mike Vrabel. I love Mike Vrabel as a coach. He did a great job this year turning that around. And everybody going into, including me, this is one thing I said. I don't think they got a chance. But, and everybody said their schedule was so easy. Their road to the playoffs got easier with the Bo Nix injury, with C.J. Stroud. But they're there. So they've got a chance. It's happened so many times, guys, where these teams that you didn't give a chance. We talked about it in the podcast before. NC State, 1983 against Houston. They had the chance. They were there. And they took care of business. Patriots, not so much. Looking at the rundown, defense wins championships. You always hear that. And this was one of, of course, you look at that Seahawks defense. Who is the star on that team, on that defense? Who is the one that you say, if he's not there, they lose? If this guy's not playing tonight, the Seahawks will struggle on defense. There's none. It's by committee, guys. These guys, nobody has over 10 sacks on that team. But there's a bunch of them with 5, 6, 7. There's a bunch of them. You look at the top player on that defense Sunday night, Witherspoon, the cornerback. He was in Drake May's face several times and forced the pick six. He was the one that hit him on the arm that he got the pick six. 3 turnovers. They forced 3 turnovers, 6 sacks. And of course, the pick six, that was pretty much the final nail in the coffin. I'll be honest with you. When Darnold threw the touchdown to his tight end and it was 19-0, I called ball game. 12-0 was one thing. That defense held the Patriots scoreless through 3 quarters. Patriots didn't score to the 4th quarter. Patriots had 52 total yards of offense at halftime. The last time a team got held scoreless for 3 quarters in the Super Bowl, it's 1974, Steelers versus Vikings. It really, if you look at the blueprint, the Eagles last year, who on that defense do you feel like if they're not there, the Eagles are going to struggle? They had guys in that front four, same as the Seahawks. Seahawks front four was pressuring Drake May all night. And then when you would throw a blitz in with Witherspoon or somebody else, it would really get to him. But yeah, I mean, this is the blueprint now, guys. You don't have to have necessarily one superstar on your defense. You have a bunch of players that fit. Look at the defensive line for the Seahawks, in and out. They've got veteran leadership. They've got rookies, but they were constantly putting people in and out, just like the Eagles did last year. That's going to be what you see on defense in the NFL for a while. You're going to see depth. You're going to see people coming in and out of the games, keeping them fresh. It's worked the last 2 years. I mean, this game, to me, guys, my hat's off to the Patriots defense, because they kept the Patriots in the game as long as they could. How many 3-and-outs did the Patriots have in the first half? And your defense is out there on the field all that time. Let's look at time of possession. And I would like to see this before the fourth quarter. 33 minutes to 26 minutes. Advantage Seattle. And I guarantee you, if you look at it, it was worse than that going into the fourth quarter. Punts. 8 punts, which Seattle had 7. Passing yards, 252, which a lot of that came in garbage time. And it was just this game was not this close. And that's what the score tells you. 29-13. So we weren't far off. 5 points off for Seattle, 4 points off for New England. While I'm talking about the Patriots defense, Christian Gonzalez, guy is special. Safety for the Patriots. He's special. Makes a big play on a long pass. Darnold aired it out, trying to hit. I forgot who it was he was trying to hit. The speedy guy. What's the speedy little guy's name? Gosh, 22. I can't remember his name now, but trying to hit him. And Gonzalez comes up. And if you see the pictures on our Facebook page, Gonzalez just laying out, deflecting it. Then right before the half, to Jackson Smith-Njigba in the end zone, he makes a great play, almost intercepts it. And, I mean, my hat's off to him. So, MVP of the Super Bowl, Kenneth Walker III. This guy, you could tell. I was talking to one of my friends after it was Monday, and he was like, I thank God for Kenneth Walker. Because if he wasn't playing the way he was, the kicker would have probably got the MVP. 5 field goals. And they were not hard field goals. They were not long field goals. Kenneth Walker had a big day, guys. And guess what? Free agent. Gets the Super Bowl MVP and getting ready to be a free agent. 27 carries, 135 yards. when he got to the edge, guys, and he was breaking tackles. Didn't get in the end zone, but he was what kept that Seattle offense going. Darnold didn't have the best game, not at all. 19 for 38. I think he had one touchdown, 202 yards. So passer rating of 74.7. Not that great, but guess what? He didn't turn the ball over. And this is, I think, is it the first in history a quarterback that did not turn the ball over in the postseason? He's with he may be with somebody, but it's the first in a long time. But Kenneth Walker, dude, his dad was at the game. Hold on, guys. Got to get hey, Powerade, are you watching? Powerade, guys, the extra sour. This is the extra sour peach pucker. I love these things. There's another one too. There's a sour apple if you want to check those out. His dad was at the game. It's the first time since he's been in the NFL that his dad's been at the game. Because his dad said his dad didn't like the crowds. And he picked the right one to go to. His son gets Super Bowl MVP. Like I said, a lot of people are talking about, I'm looking at, I'm always watching mock drafts. I'm always watching free agency where people think players are going. And a lot of people are saying Kenneth Walker might end up in Kansas City, which would be a good fit for Kansas City because they need a running back. Anyway, getting back to the game, Walker keeps it. I mean, he gets a lot of first downs and keeps drives going for these guys. It's 9-0 at the half. And you're thinking, I'm thinking the whole time, if you watch me go, I went live at halftime. I'm thinking that that's trouble for Seattle because you should be up 3 scores right now. You should be killing. I mean, you're shutting them out, but you should be, it should be 20-0, 17-0, something like that. But the Patriots defense, man, they stepped up. Like I said, they kept them in the game as long as they could. 9-0 is a problem, and the Patriots getting the ball first the second half. Because I was like, one play, and we got it later on, but it was 17. It was already 19-0 when they got it. Mac Hollins with a deep 35-yard touchdown pass from Drake May. And see, if that had happened on that first possession of the second half, that's a new ball game. You got a 9-7 game. And people were criticizing Vrabel for not going for 2. Well, I mean, I don't know. At the point at that time, what would 19-8 have done? You're still 11 points down. You're 12 points down now. At that point, I think he was happy to get points on the board. But yeah, Kenneth Walker, he's the first running back to be a Super Bowl MVP since Terrell Davis did it way back in 1998. Doesn't that sound weird? It's almost 30 years ago, guys. Gosh, time flies when you get old. Don't believe me? Wait. So now the Seahawks have to make a choice with Walker. Zach Charbonnet's there. That's his running mate who was injured in the playoffs. But now you've got a bona fide guy that's going to want some money. You got to make a decision what you're going to do. Super Bowl Sam, or some people called him slinging Sammy D. Did you ever think you'd be talking about Sam Darnold starting in the Super Bowl? Like I said earlier, it didn't cross my mind years ago. The only way I thought he'd be in the Super Bowl would be holding a clipboard. But he did it, guys. He wasn't great. Like you said, he wasn't great, but he really didn't have to be great in that game. The defense gave him, and there were several times where he scared me the first game. I thought he was going to get that turnover because he was throwing balls where he had no business trying to throw them in. He was trying, kind of like the Brett Favre gunslinger mode was what he was doing. But he got out of a lot of things. And man, the one play where he scrambled out of a short sack and Jackson Smith-Njigba got behind the secondary, was breaking free. He missed him by a couple of yards, and that was easy touchdown. Just missed it by that much. Was that Agent 99 from gosh, what was that show's name? Old show. Gosh, no, I can't remember it now. You can't take it away from him now. Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion quarterback. And he's got the Disney commercial to prove it. I mean, when did we decide? Well, I know one time they decided that the MVP was not going to go to Disney World. Go back to 2001. Ray Lewis. And we all know why he won MVP, but we all know why Disneyland didn't want him to go to Disneyland. Dealing with some murder charges, or had dealt with some murder charges, got his way out of it. So they decided to take Trent Dilfer. So this year I'm looking at the Disney commercial, and I think they've done it a few years now. I think they've taken 2 now. So Kenneth Walker and Sam Darnold get to go do the commercial, which it's great. That commercial always is something I look forward to. But talking about Darnold, guys, listen to him after the game on NFL Network. Him and Jackson Smith-Njigba came up there after they did the presentation, and listen to talking about, I think one of the questions was, what kept you going, through all of this? You've been rode off so many times. And what kept you going to get to this spot? And you just know this is going to be like Kurt Warner's story. You just know Sam Darnold's story is going to be a movie, some kind of movie somewhere. It may not be a great acted movie, but it's going to be a movie. And he's going to have a biography come out, He said the first people he said was his parents. And I think he mentioned his fiance too. But his parents, they never gave up on him. They never stopped believing in him. And he said, mistakes I made on the field and off the field, his parents never stopped believing in him. And he said, that's what's got me to this point. Ain't it the truth, though? When you're down and you feel like you've just can't get any worse, your mom and your dad, no matter what you've done, in most instances, your mom and your dad are going to be there to pick you up and say, hey, you're still the best. I know mine were. Mine are. My mom is. My dad was. My dad, biggest supporter of me through sports. My mom was too, but my dad was there, like on the sidelines, roaming up and down the sidelines, watching every play, making sure he could talk to me after every game I played about what I did on this play, what you did on this play. I saw that play where you did this. You shouldn't have done that on this play. And I was amazed at times because look, there was one night I got hurt. He always told me if I ever got hurt and I didn't come off the field, I was going to be hurting later on because he was going to whoop my tail when I got home. And there was a game when I got hurt, and the first thing I did, I was in a pile, and this guy from another team intentionally headbutted me with his helmet across my knee. And I'm sorry, knee pads don't protect you from a big helmet coming across your kneecap. And I got ready to stay in. We scored a touchdown, and we were going for the 2-point conversion. I think I stayed for the 2-point conversion. And I came off the field because my knee it went numb. And I went off the field and the trainer was over there looking at it. I said, let him tape it up and let me see how I do, because I didn't want to come out of that game. So he taped it up. He let me go back in, and I played another 3 or 4 weeks before my knee was really close to being really messed up. Luckily, we avoided that. But yeah, that's the thing. Parents, and no matter what you do, whether it's sports, whether it's life, later on in life, they're your biggest supporters. And I'm just grateful and thankful for my mom. She's still with us. My dad, for the time with him. And I want to send out my prayers and my sympathies for one of my former co-hosts and my assistant coach and one of my best friends out there, Eric Sawyer, who's going through that right now. His dad passed away this morning. So if you guys can keep him and his family in your prayers, I sure would appreciate it. He's one of the best guys you'll ever meet. Eric, I think the world of him. Like, me and him didn't know each other. He comes out on the field one day while I'm having practice. I asked if he could help coach, and the rest is history. 7 or 8 years later, he's one of my best friends. And buddy, I'm praying for you. I know what you're going through. So Drake May, and he comes out before the game. Why they waited till this? Because I don't remember hearing anything about a shoulder injury till now. He got a shot for his shoulder. He's had a shoulder injury. And take nothing away from. His playoff run has not been great, and I don't know if that shoulder. He didn't make excuses. I'll give him that. He did not make excuses. Say the shoulder was what cost me the game. He was a runner-up for MVP to Matthew Stafford. Some folks think he should have got it. I didn't think he should have got MVP because he turned the ball over a lot. I know when Pittsburgh somehow beat them early year. And when I say somehow, I know why, because he turned the ball over a lot. But that was a different team at the start of the year than it was the end of the year, middle of the year too. 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble. And he got a lot of people look at his stat. He threw for 200. How many yards was it? 295. And you look at it, he has 2 touchdowns. But it's just like Patrick Mahomes last year against the Eagles. A lot of those yards came in garbage time. Wasn't when it counted, guys. Wasn't when it would have made a difference in the game. If he'd have threw for all those yards when it counted, when they were still in the game, then yeah, they may have had a chance, but didn't happen that way. Rushing yards, 79 for New England, 141 for which a majority of that was Kenneth Walker. And some people were calling this one of the worst Super Bowls they've ever seen. I want you to disagree with that. We'll get to that in a few minutes. he just didn't look the same as he did at the end of the season in the playoffs. And one of the things I wonder, and I said this, the pressure of the postseason. The first time you've been in there, how you handle that pressure? We talked about Roethlisberger. We talked about Roethlisberger last week, how he handled that pressure. And it was not good. He didn't handle it well that year. Not that first game or the second game, to be honest with you. But it's like May got by those first 3 games with his defense. And that's pretty much what Roethlisberger did with that game against the Jets where he won in his first year. Will we see him back? I mean, do I feel like he'll be back? You don't ever know, guys. I mean, look, the first Marino goes to the Super Bowl his second year in the league. And you're like, oh, God, he'll be back. Don't worry, he'll be back. When they lost to the 49ers, he'll be back. Never made it back, guys. I don't know. I don't know but you got a good coach with Vrabel. People are just criticizing Vrabel for this and that and the other. Criticizing for punting on 4th and 1 from the 41 when it was 12-0 midway through the fourth quarter. And maybe he should have gone for it. I don't know. This guy's coaching in his first Super Bowl too. Mike McDonald. The guy, you don't hear his name a lot. But man, what a job he's done with Seattle. 2 years, and he's got them Super Bowl champions. And he's got that defense. The dark side. Here's my question for you. Better Seattle defense, Legion of Boom or the dark side? Tough one to answer there. And I think right now the Legion of Boom gets a nod because of, but we have yet to see as many years under the dark side as we have the Legion of Boom. So I would put an asterisk right next to it right now, just to see, just so we can see what this dark side is going to be like if they can keep that dark side defense intact. I mean, they were fun to watch, guys. They are really fun to watch. But can they keep them together? That's the thing. Patriots offensive line. Struggle, guys. 6 sacks. And sometimes it was just bull rush. One name they keep mentioning, Will Campbell, the rookie. Made a late season return from a knee injury. Gave up 3 sacks and 11 pressures in the 3 playoff games until the Super Bowl. It didn't get any better in the Super Bowl. 14 pressures, and that's the most by any player in a game this season. A lot of people talking about he doesn't need to be playing tackle. He's got short arms, and you can't extend. He needs to be a guard or a center. And as also now they're talking about he had an injury, which he did not blame that. He did not blame that on the way he performed. Which I'll give him that. I'll give him and Drake May that. You know, they didn't make excuses. And maybe you'll see New England back in the Super Bowl next year. Maybe this is a learning experience, guys. I don't know. The pieces are in place. You may need to add a few things, but the pieces are in place for them. They're a young team. They've got some stars. But it just depends on how they work. So now you're looking at, of course, as soon as the Super Bowl's over, who's the favorites to win the Super Bowl next year? Two teams tied. Seahawks and the Rams tied, which I said the NFC Championship game was going to be the Super Bowl winner. And I mean, I think the Rams could have beat the Patriots as well. So the Seahawks and the Rams, followed by the Bills, Packers. Here we go with the Ravens. Okay. I understand you got Lamar there. You didn't even make the playoffs. You didn't win your division. There is nothing making me think the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl next year. You got a new coach. If you bet on the Ravens, it should have been a long shot. I'm sorry. Even though I despise the Ravens. Chiefs. Wow. The Patriots are way down the list here. I'm looking. Lions are up there. Chargers. 49ers. Texans. Texans, let me tell you, C.J. Stroud better come up with a big turnaround. And I ain't just talking about in the regular season. If they make the playoffs next year, he needs – how do you have the Texans more of a favorite to win the Super Bowl next year than the Bears? The Bears are explosive on offense. The Bears have a good defense. How do you have the Bears and the Bengals with the same odds to win the Super Bowl next year? Bengals have no defense. Bears. Oh my gosh. I did hear a Bears fan say they could have beat the Patriots. Probably so. The way the Patriots played in the playoffs, they probably could have beat them. Who else is down here that I don't understand? My boys are near the bottom of the list, which I can understand that. When you don't win a playoff game for so many years, you got a new coach, but that doesn't. The Ravens, just because you got Lamar Jackson on your team, that means you're gonna automatically be in the playoffs. Guess what? It didn't happen. Dumbasses. Excuse my language. So okay. We're going to get to the halftime show. Let me just say this about the halftime show, guys. I did not watch Bad Bunny. I didn't watch him because I don't like Bad Bunny's music. I don't like that kind of music. I switched it over to Kid Rock's because I enjoy that kind of music more. The people out there saying that you switched it over there because you're a racist. What? Give me a break. This place is so screwed up right now. If you don't like America, and I don't like to get political on here. I don't want to get political on it, but if you don't like America, leave. The door is wide open for you to leave. That's what this country is all about, is freedom of choice. We chose not to watch Bad Bunny because I don't like his music. I don't like that kind of music. There's a lot of music that I listen to. There's not a lot of Kiss fans out there that I know. I mean, there's lots nationwide, worldwide. But there's people that if I listen to Kiss right now, they would turn their nose up at it. So, I mean, get over it. You're talking about a freaking halftime show of a Super Bowl. And people are getting upset about it. People are talking trash back and forth to people. I chose to not watch it. Just like people chose to watch Bad Bunny. I chose not to watch it. And to the people out there making posts about banning or just boycotting the NFL, boycott it if you want to. That's fine. Don't watch it if you don't like it. But abolishing the NFL. I saw a post the other day about abolishing the NFL, what they've done over and this is somebody that when people were talking about canceling stuff years ago, when you were on that's like you didn't want that to happen. It's simple as this, guys. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't want to hear it, don't listen to it. I am so tired of people trying to ruin. I mean, I love the NFL. I love football. Just like what I said earlier about the halftime show. I didn't want to listen to that, so I turned it. So if you don't want to watch football, turn it off. If you don't want to watch a certain movie, turn it off. If you don't want to listen to my podcast, don't. Nobody has tied you down making you do it. Abolish the NFL. Crazy. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I'll say it. Do what you want to do, guys. You got that freedom within reason. Do what you want to do. You can make that post just like I saw it. I didn't respond to it. But that's I don't have to agree with it either. And I'm not going to agree with that. And guess what? I don't hate that person because they put it up there. It's just a difference of opinion. I don't agree with what they said. But I'm not going to hate them, and I'm not going to go protest them. That's what's wrong, guys. I'm sorry to be, I'm on the soapbox tonight. I'm sorry to be like that, but that's what's wrong with this place. If you don't get what you want, or if there's something out there you don't like, instead of just ignoring it, you got to go try to get rid of it. No matter what, if people, and I'm not talking about illegal things, guys. I'm talking about something as simple as a football game, and you want to get rid of it. Or a movie, and you want to get rid of it. Or music that you listen to, you want to get rid of it. Do I like rap music? No. I don't care for it. There's the 80s stuff, yeah, I do. But do I want to get rid of it? No, because obviously a lot of people enjoy it. So let them listen to it. Take it away? Crazy. It's just crazy. Okay, earlier, we're going to get off that and we're going to finish up right here. Earlier, we talked about people talking about this was one of the worst Super Bowls they'd ever seen. No. I don't, and maybe these were younger people that hadn't been around as long as I have, because I remember watching, was it 14? Super Bowl 14. Yeah, it's probably 14. Yeah. That was the first one I remember watching. I'll go back to the Bears versus the Patriots. 46-10. Bears demolished the Patriots. That was never a game, guys. Never a game. I remember just the big thing there was, why didn't they let Walter Payton score a touchdown? Because they could have let him score anytime they wanted to. 49ers, I think 1989, 49ers versus Broncos, 55-10. Awful game. If you're a 49ers fan, not so bad, but awful game. It was just domination by Joe Montana. I mean, he would just throw it. He'd throw the ball up. Jerry Rice would catch it. Touchdown. Jared Goff versus Tom Brady. Patriots win 13-3. That was awful. That was a bad Super Bowl. Probably the worst one of this era. Trying to think of some other ones. I won't say the Redskins over the Broncos because my parents were Redskins fans and they enjoyed that. And like I said, 49ers and Bears fans probably enjoyed their Super Bowl. The Cowboys and the Bills, the first one, the 52-10. And this is what I said last week, guys. I felt like it was going to be a blowout. I wanted it to be a good game, and I felt like it was going to be a blowout. It was pretty much a blowout. I mean, it may not have been 55-10, but it was a blowout. It was never close. So next week, we'll be back on the final score. We'll do our recap of the season, our look ahead. Of course, now we're looking for the draft. Draft will be in Pittsburgh this year. And that's on my bucket list to go see an NFL draft. Me and my buddy, my mentor, Gaddis Hodges, had talked about that. Going to a draft. Maybe if it came to Charlotte one year, we'd go to the draft. That would be something I would love to do. And I'm still working on for this off season, guys, getting the thing going through week by week, starting with the draft and going week by week through the 1980 NFL season, starting something to do in the off season like that. Flashback episode. Last night I've watched it before, but I watched a 30 for 30 on the scab team for the Washington Redskins. And it was nothing like as a kid watching those games with Pat Summerall. You always knew sometime Sunday afternoon, Pat Summerall and John Madden, you were going to hear them. And it was nothing like it, guys. For me, it was so awesome. NFL was so awesome back then. And it still to a point is for me now. I'm more of an NFL fan than a college fan, but it's like I said, guys, that would be like if I don't watch the NBA. I don't care for the NBA right now. That's like if this person I would say to this person, he was the NBA fan, I would say, we need to abolish the NBA. I don't like it. How would they feel? No, you can't do that. Oh, well. I'm going to leave you with that, guys. So, Valentine's Day this weekend, guys, make sure you get your better half something nice for Valentine's Day. I'm sure you will. Cook them steak. You get one from the Rich Square Market. Take care, guys. Be back next week. Look for On the Fly. We've had, with this weather and some crazy stuff at work, I have not been able to put together some On the Fly episodes like I can, the final score. So we're working on that. So I will have some guests coming up in the upcoming weeks, guest hosts on the show. So we'll be looking for that. You guys have a great week. Stay warm. Because it's going to be warm, guys, for a little while, for a couple of days, and then it's going to go back. It's going to be back and forth. I think the worst is over, though. Keep my fingers crossed. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next week on the final score.